Welcome back. This time we're talking about The Boss Baby, the latest animated film from Dreamworks and starring Alec Baldwin as the Boss Baby. This film is quite funny and had me laughing a lot, although I do feel like it's one of those films that I'm probably not going to remember it long term as one of the better Dreamworks films. It definitely has a Shrek vibe to it because there's a lot of humor that will at least hopefully go over the heads of children. There's a lot of humor that is borderline, I'm surprised it's in here, but it did make me laugh, so I don't have a problem with it because I don't have kids. The story focuses on a young boy named Tim, voiced by Miles Christopher Bakshi, and he has essentially the perfect 7-year-old life. His parents love him, they have great jobs, so they have plenty of money, but they still have time to play with him all the time. At least they have the time until he gets a new baby brother. And this baby brother is the Boss Baby, like I said, voiced by Alec Baldwin. Although he is not a normal baby. First of all, he arrives wearing a full suit. And as we learned in the opening sort of prologue of the film, babies come from Baby Corp. How they actually make the babies, well, they didn't go into that. But there's a conveyor belt, there's bunches of babies. And they test the babies, and the vast majority of the babies go to a family. Those, however, that are deemed for higher purposes are sent to management, and Boss Baby was one of them. And he has lived his entire life as middle management. He has a cubicle, he has a desk, and all he ever wants is a promotion in a corner office. And he has been sent to this family, Tim's family, to investigate the biggest threat to babies and the love given to babies, and that would be puppies, because puppies are taking over the love meter. You know, there are sometimes I do have to just sit back for a moment and think about the things I actually say on this channel sometimes describing movies. And this was one of them. But in any event, the Boss Baby is there. He is trying to figure out what the next big puppy is coming from this big puppy conglomerate that's taking over the love. And of course, Tim doesn't like this new baby because he's gobbling up all of his own parents' attention. But of course, they're going to reach a point where they're going to have to work together so they both get what they want. This film is pretty predictable. I mean, how it gets there sometimes I didn't see coming, but for the most part, you pretty well know how this film's going to end after seeing the initial setup. But this is not a film that has arrived with deep messages and intricate storytelling. It's a film made to make you laugh. It's a comedy. And as such, I found it pretty successful because I did laugh quite a bit. Now, on the flip side, there are some things that I'm still a little confused, if not concerned about. The first is Tim is made out to be this child who has a very vivid imagination. And there are elements where you have to wonder sometimes whether everything that he's seeing with the Boss Baby and everything that's happening is actually all in his head. There's actually a few clues here or there that could lead the audience to believe that. They do play up his imagination so much, with one exception where we get sort of a feel-good moment going into the third act. Nothing really comes of that vivid imagination as far as plot-wise. It's something that gets used here or there, but with the amount of time that's devoted to it, especially in the setup of the first act, I was expecting more from it later on. And as far as concerns go, as I've said many, many times, and I said earlier in this video, I don't have kids, and frankly, I do my best to stay away from babies as much as possible. But I do think there might be a concern coming out of this movie if you do have a small child with an accompanying, baby brother or sister. There's a lot of things that Tim does with this baby that I'm very sure you would not want to happen in real life. It would probably not end well for anybody. So do know going in that you might need to have some conversations with your children on what not to do with babies. I'm sure you've already had those conversations, but they might need to be reinforced just a little bit after watching this movie. But overall, like I said, this is not a deep film. This is not going to go down as one of DreamWorks' best movies or even its funniest. But It did make me laugh, and I think more so than anything else, this film is a comedy. So in that, it succeeded. I think kids are going to enjoy it. I think parents are going to get enough of that sort of adult-oriented humor that they're not going to be bored out of their mind either. Now, if you've seen Boss Baby, what did you think about it? What did you think about the humor? What did you think about? Do you think there might be some concerns about children playing a little too rough with their baby brother or sister after going to see this movie? I don't know. But what I do know is you can subscribe to my channel. You can check out some other reviews, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.